Back again. Please like, subscribe. Trying to get this channel to 1K. Now, we have some breaking news coming out of Sony. I wouldn't even say breaking news. We got some leaks coming out of Sony from certain people, right, that are so-called great leakers and great gatherers of information. All right. We have the so-called PlayStation Vita 2. I don't even know what to call it. Was it the Q Lite or something like that? I'm conflicted. PlayStation enthusiasts will buy it. YouTubers will buy it, just for the content, like me. So for me, this whole concept of this remote play device, it comes down to pricing. It comes down to who's your market. When you have the Steam Deck and, like me, the OG Switch, right? Who's the market for? Is Sony creating a market? Because the handheld market is kind of flooded and they're kind of portable and have more advantages, especially with the Steam Deck, has more advantages than the specs we're getting for this LCD screen. Maybe because of the pandemic and stuff like that, being able to have accessible parts and stuff like that. That's why they went with the LCD screen. It's going to be an 8-inch, and just imagine you take the PlayStation 5 controller, smush it between the 8-inch with the haptic feedback and stuff like that. One of my main concerns, besides pricing and who's it for, how long is this battery life if we're going to do haptic feedback and all of this type of stuff? Maybe it's good for some. Like, I read a comment on another YouTuber's page where it was like, you know, my wife was watching TV and I was room farming for an Elden Ring, and it was good for that. All right, those type of situations, wife wants to watch TV in the living room. If your PlayStation 5 is attached to your actual setup in the living room, maybe the in-laws is in town, you can do certain stuff that way. But other than that, I don't know what's this for. Now, only reason why I'm conflicted about it because of pricing. Just like the PlayStation VR 2, it needs a price cut to sell well, right? Because it's not looking too well at this point in time. But if Sony is able to price this just right, because the Sony name attached to it is just like Gucci, Louis, it's going to come with a price hike. So I heard one YouTuber say 150. That would be amazing if they are able to pull this off for 150. I would say, dang, that's a done deal. Sign me up today. But knowing PlayStation, it's not going to be 150. It's going to be maybe 200, 250. And if that's the case, I don't know if a lot of people are going to be willing to do that and just not buy a Nintendo Switch. You know, or Steam Deck. You're almost at a Steam Deck price. So if you're willing to spend $250, $300 on a remote play handheld, let me know. Honestly, I want to know, are you willing to do that? Or if you had that type of money available to you, are you willing to just buy a Steam Deck and you could do emulation, you could do other things with your handheld device? Because tell you the truth, man, I'm wondering who's this market for. It's not just about when YouTubers make a video. It's not just about like, dang, we're just going to try to get this content out of there. I really try to digest and think about if I was selling this to PlayStation execs and why we should make it and why should we sell it. Who's the market? Are we creating a market, or are we interjecting into Nintendo and Valve's market? And I guess Logitech's at this point too, right? But are we actually creating a market? Because if you're creating a market, that's more dangerous, because who wants it? So pricing and who's it for? That's going to be the major key, because people like me, I'd rather sit in my computer chair and play my game that way. Maybe once in a while, if I'm doing some trivial things on PlayStation, I'll pick it up and I'll do it from the bed, or do it from the couch, or do it from anywhere other than my setup. I don't understand how we can actually, toast Sony up and be like, this is a great idea, because I don't know who's the market for. I don't. Now the LCD screen, 8-inch, smashing two haptic feedback smashing the controller, you know, between I don't know. I have major concerns. I have very major concerns about this, right? It's just, who's this for? Next I would like to talk about is the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now we're hearing about leaks about certain PlayStation 5s. We got the Slim, we got the Pro, we got now we got this handheld, and it's like, all right, Sony, I trust you with your ecosystem. I do. I trust Sony with their ecosystem more than other companies like Microsoft or Nintendo Switch. I trust them. So, but it's like, all right, are we heading in a direction that's actually good for gaming? I would rather focus on games instead of a Slim or PS5, especially a PlayStation 5 Pro. You're willing to split the company up again. I mean, not the company, the gamers again. I don't know if the people who are slow to get a PlayStation 5, because a lot of because you know, East Coast people and a lot of West Coast people, and you know, a lot of people on the East Coast and West Coast, we have accessibility to the console now because a lot of the distribution centers are on the East Coast or on the West Coast because of the ports. Now, I don't know if a lot of people in the middle of the country have accessibility to the PlayStation 5 just as much as I do. I went to go look for a place, found it again in a day. So, and that went for digital and physical. So, I don't know if it's a good idea to drop a PlayStation 4 Pro at all this console generation. I don't know. Because of the distribution and things that happened before, we know, right? Before the world stopped. So that's my concern about the PlayStation 5 Pro. PlayStation 5 Slim, yeah, that's it's novelty, right? You got the detachable disk drive. If that rumor is actually true, I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know if those rumors are actually true. But hey, I'm willing to deal with the Slim. I don't know if they should split the console generation up again with the Pro and the 5. The 5 seems fine. We have yet to see the power from the 5 yet towards like the end of the generation like we're used to in other console generations. I would rather just finish out this console generation and see the dividends and see all the power that the PlayStation 5 has to offer, especially when we stop splitting the games between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I think we should start actually moving from PlayStation 4 and moving just on PlayStation 5. That means those stragglers with the PlayStation 4, it's over for. You cut the lights out, shut down the building, it's over for PlayStation 4. All right? Because a lot of it is readily available on the East Coast and West Coast. And I think that, you know, we should start seeing more power and more benefits from people who own a PlayStation 5. But these are my comments, my concerns, man. This is from